It's your life. Take a stand, so live your best life. Live your best life. Come on and live your best life with Dr. Julia Royston. Hello, 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 everybody. This is the day that the Lord has made. I shall rejoice and be glad in it. I am Dr. Julia Royston, bringing you Live Your Best Life right here on 106.3 FM and brought to you by Jones Media and BK Royston Publishing. My goal each time we are together is to give you inspiration, information, and an introduction to new ideas, resources, and people that will help you to live your best life. The scripture tells us, "For I've come that you might have life and have that life to the full, overflowing, abundant life." And that's what we're striving to do here at Live Your Best Life. Again, I'm Dr. Julia Royston, and so glad we have a special guest today, author, educator, and entrepreneur. I gave her a business. Entrepreneur, Miss Andrea Carter, the future Dr. Andrea Carter. See, I just put that all out in the atmosphere. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. I'm honored to be here today.
So, thank you so much. Take the time, first off, to introduce yourself and tell us about who you are and what you do.
Thank you so much. I just want to say that I'm honored to be here. I'm very grateful for this opportunity, for this platform, to share with you my story of overcoming. I am Andrea Carter. I am a doctoral student, and I'll be graduating December 2020. I'm really grateful for that opportunity as well. I am an entrepreneur. I started a couple of charter schools. 2004, started a charter school for disenfranchised high school students, and it's still open. I'm not affiliated with that particular school, but right now my footprints are on that, and they have actually three campuses. Of course. I did provide consulting for a number of years after I left the organization. I did went back home to Gary, Indiana, after I left for 20 years, and I started another school, a choice school for disenfranchised youth as well, and that school was open for about 5 years, and we were able to give back and provide reading strategies and math strategies for those students that were significantly achieving below grade level.
Well, I'm an educator and retired educator after 22 years, so the educational process is really near and dear to my heart. Listeners know I talk about it continually, but from your perspective, especially working with and helping at-risk students to be successful, that is really a key component. And what would you say to parents? Because I find that it does take a village. It does take everyone. It takes the administration.
Yes.
It takes teachers. We're working hard every day. Yes. I remember. Yes. I haven't been retired that long. Yes. I remember that process. So what would you really say for parents? What important things would you give to parents?
Absolutely, thank you. Great question. Great question. I've been in education for well over 25 years. First and foremost, I would like parents to know that they are their child's first teacher. They are their child's first teacher. And the second thing, and which is probably most important, is that the pipeline to prison is real.
Yeah.
The pipeline to prison is real. There is there's a direct correlation between our students' reading scores in the 3rd and 4th grade and the prison population. I would like to say research indicates like 95% of those incarcerated males, they are just about illiterate.
Yes.
And when we lost them, believe it or not, we lost them at 3rd and 4th grade. Because in 3rd and 4th grade, when they failed those reading tests, we began to, in our country, we began to assess those reading tests and look at those scores and gauge how many prisons we need to build. there's a direct correlation between that. And they want to say that it's an urban myth. Of course, it's not an urban myth.
No.
So the pipeline to prison is very real. And I would like to tell the parents that, you are your child's first teacher. We're living in a day and age where we have a significant number of young people that are illiterate. We're in a 911 situation as a people. We have all these distractions going on in our world right now, in our country right now, but it's really, really important that we teach our students those needed reading skills. There's a plethora of information out there to help parents teach their students. We need to make sure that our homes are literacy-rich environments. You can purchase books from Goodwills. You can have a library card, which is free.
It's free, definitely free. The public library should be your best friend.
Absolutely.
It was in our house. It was our best friend. We came home with loads and piles of books. So if you are economically challenged and you cannot buy books, that is the best place to go, is the public library. So I'm a champion for the public library because you're right. It is free. And don't let anybody tell you that myth of 3rd and 4th grade reading scores and the jail pipeline is not true. It is. I believe that with everything within me. So one of the things that you have done, besides the 25 plus years of actually working in the school system, making that actually happen, the struggle is real, and teachers work super hard every single solitary day. I'm sorry, I just got overcome because I know how hard that life really, really is.
Right.
Now, one of the things that you have done is develop a book, write a book. So tell us about your children's book.
Okay, great question. When I was teaching for the last couple of decades, I've noticed that sometimes our kids, they really want to see themselves in print. Okay, and there's a direct correlation between our children's self-esteem and seeing themselves in the media. Because a lot of times in the media, the standard of beauty that is out there in the media is still blonde hair and blue eyes.
Yes.
So what I did was I actually wrote a children's book, and it's going to be a 12-book series, and we have a skills book that's coming out with each one of those books. When I was a teacher, every single year, my principal would put students that were struggling readers that was significantly reading below grade level in my classroom. And I thought they were doing that because I was like, oh, okay, I'm an African American teacher and they're just going to shoo all the students over to me. But I realized after a number of years that they did that because I was successful with those particular students. I remember for a number of years I would have students reading at a pre-primer level or kindergarten level, and research indicates that the reason why our reading curriculum is set up the way it is, that it's set up for students to increase one reading grade level per year. My students were jumping 3, 4th, and 5th grade levels because of the strategies that I was using. So because my philosophy was that if I don't catch them now, the prison system was going to catch them.
Yes.
So I worked above and beyond went above and beyond my call of duty to ensure that those students that were in front of me, that walked through my path, they had the tools that they needed in order to be a successful adult. So they were leaving out at 6th grade reading levels, and they were coming to me at 1st grade reading levels. So what I did was I created a book. I developed a book with all of the strategies that I used for the last 2 decades, and I actually published it a couple of weeks ago. And those strategies are all actually in our book, and it's in my book, and it's research based.
Excellent. Tell us the title of it and where they can get it.
And the title of the book is Pretty Pop's Adventures. Pretty Pops Inspires Kindness, because we also want to make sure that our students are respectful as well. So we have Pretty Pop's Adventures. Her first name is Pretty, and she's a brown-skinned girl. Brown and black girls magic.
Yay!
So her first name is Pretty because it's again, the standard of beauty in our country is not necessarily the brown and the black girls. And that's the message the media is actually putting out there. And so her family name is actually Pops, and it's really great. She stays with her mom and her stepdad, and her dad is involved. It's a really interesting read. It's just awesome. She's very bright. and she's also pretty as well. And I use a lot of rhyming words and word parts so the children will be able to recognize a sound and syllable. They'll be able to decode. They'll be able to teach themselves how to read and how to write.
Awesome.
With this particular book.
That is awesome.
And you can get it on Amazon.
Amazon.com.
Pretty Pops Adventures, Andrea Carter. Pretty Pops Inspires Kindness, Andrea Carter's the author.
Awesome. Pretty Pops Adventures. Now, we're in the holiday season right at this moment, so feel free to go to Amazon.com and get Pretty Pops Adventures. So I want to switch gears just a little bit before we go to break and really talk about, you talked about overcoming. And what does overcoming, because I know we don't have enough show time. We'll have to have you back at another time, but we don't have enough show time for your entire story. But tell us, what does overcoming mean to you?
Great question. Overcoming means to me, what basically, to sum it up, is I feel that you are greater than all of your circumstances. At the end of the day, no matter what you're going through, you win. You are, and you know, a lot of times we tend to take the victim mentality.
Right.
We feel like we're blaming everybody else for our issues and our isms, and but you know what we need to do, even especially as Christians, is we need to hold ourselves accountable, take responsibility for whatever situation we're in, but we must believe that we are greater than our circumstances. But too many times we are succumbing to our situation. And I like to say that the word situation, either you're going to sit and wallow and be poor as me, or you're going to take action. What are you going to in that particular situation? And when we sit, we're saying that God is not great.
Right.
We're looking at life by ourselves, but we're not doing life by ourselves, Dr. Royston.
No.
We're doing life with God. And God says we overcome all things, right?
Yes.
That's what he says. He said that all things, not some things,
all
not
things
one thing, not two things.
All
he
things
says
are
that all things are possible if we quote unquote believe.
Believe,
right?
exactly.
So that is so true, and belief is faith. And you know what? I want to say that there's a big trend out here. Everyone is doing a vision board. But how can you do a vision board and you lack vision?
Wow.
And vision is nothing but faith. And those who, what did the Bible say? When we have like vision, we perish.
We perish all the time.
And that's what we're seeing. We walk away. I've heard people say, "Oh, I'm not doing a vision board because it doesn't work." But the Bible says, "Write your vision down plain," and He tells us that for a reason. And He says, "Believe on that vision. Look at that vision. Imagine yourself walking in it. Act as if it has already come to pass." Because the Bible tells us when we pray, we act as if we believe that it has already there.
Exactly. But we have to take action. That was the thing.
Yes.
Are you going to sit or are you going to take action? And I find a lot of people, they're like, well, they have all kinds of roadblocks in their way that, and a lot of it is in your mind.
Yes.
It's already in your mind.
Yes.
You haven't asked anyone. No one is even, you haven't even got to the point of saying no. You haven't even got to the point of, I had 25 people turn me down because you haven't even asked the first person.
Right.
And I think that whole action step is really critical and really key. The sitting is easy to do. You know, the sitting and saying, woe is me, I can't do it, I'm a black girl, I'm a Spanish girl, I'm this, I'm that, I'm fat, I'm tall, I'm thin. I mean, we can all make excuses of what we can't do or what some society tells us. Oh, I don't have blonde hair, so they won't hire me. Well, then you create your own. You know, it's like the Tyler Perry thing. You create your own table. Don't keep begging people to sit at that table. So taking action, and we're going to be right back after this song, and I want you to talk just a little bit more about 2 to 3 things that people can actually take action with to create the vision that God has given them. We'll be right back.
You are perfect in all your ways. I must praise you all my days, all my
I love the Lord too. I'm Dr. Julia Royston with Live Your Best Life right here on 106.3, brought to you by Jones Media and BK Royston Publishing, helping you get your message to the masses, turn your words into wealth, and be a book business boss. If you're ready to put your book into print, put your thoughts down on paper, and have it published to the world, reach out to us at www.bkroystonpublishing.com. I'm again here and super excited to be with the future Dr. Andrea Carter. So glad she is here with us today. Now, before our break, we were talking about action, taking action steps. What are some action steps you need to take? So I know we need to have the kind of the goal in mind, but even before you start taking action steps, what does your mind have to be set to? And then tell us some 2 or 3 action steps you need to take.
Action steps. I wanted to say that first and foremost, that faith without action is a moot point. It's totally dead. And I wanted to say that your thoughts is you are the total sum of what you think you are. If you think you can't do it, you're right. If you think you can do it, you also are right. So you are the total sum of your thoughts. And your thoughts actually dictate your actions. So when Dr. Royston before break asked me to tell 3 things that we need to do, the 3 things that I would suggest you do after you write down your vision plan, after you're imagining what you're doing, after you tell that self-critic that, hey, I'm going to be my self-coach instead of the self-critic, because everyone has a self-critic to say that you can't do it, don't believe in yourself, oh, you're too fat, or you're too smart, your daddy wasn't this, your mama wasn't that. But we have to tell that self-critic to shut up. I am somebody, I am smart, I am intelligent.
Mm-hmm.
But the 3 things that I would tell you, those that are at the under the sound of my voice, number 1, believe. The Lord said that I'm going to give you the desires of your heart. And the reason why he's going to make those desires become manifest, because he put them there. And we serve a God that cannot fail. He can do everything but fail. They say that if God tell a lie, it becomes the truth.
Mm-hmm.
The second thing you need to do, again, is to believe. You have to believe on God. You have to believe that there was a plan created for your life. He created a plan before you were born for you to complete. There is a plan, and you're not in this alone. The third thing you need to do is to believe. You must believe. You must believe. The Bible tells us faith without action is dead.
Mm-hmm.
It is a moot point. You have to believe in God. God is there. He don't want us to fail. He told us in Psalms 91, we have the victory.
Mm-hmm.
No good thing would I withhold from you. So we walk around and we're afraid, and we allow fear to immobilize us. And fear is just an illusion. We are overcomers. We overcome every circumstance. And you're talking about a person that has looked at death in the face. You're talking about a person who goes to the doctor and the doctor tells you don't have any more mechanisms you need in order to replenish your blood cells.
Wow.
So we're going to need to do this, and that. But I serve the superior doctor.
Oh, come on.
I serve a God. I said, but God. I left out the doctor's office and said, but God. God,
yes.
You told me that you gave me life and that more abundantly.
Yes.
And I'm going to stand on your word. I'm going to stand on your foundation, and I'm going to believe on you. I saw my first dead body at 6 years old walking to kindergarten.
Wow.
I lost 2 siblings to murder before I even got into high school. So you cannot tell me that God cannot do it for you. That's the enemy, that's your devil, that's a self-critic talking to you, telling you that you can't. I've been told that I was going to be a statistic at 18 years old. I graduated from high school. I went to one of the top universities for my undergrad and for my master's program. I completed that at one of the top Christian schools, and now I'm on to graduate with my doctoral degree. God is faithful.
Yes.
And a little black girl from the most impoverished city in America, the city that they call the murder capital of the world, opened a couple of successful charter schools to give back. So don't let anyone tell you that you can't. Don't let anyone, you are created for a purpose. You are destined You are destined for greatness. You just have to believe it. You have to persevere. Another sign of faith is your perseverance.
Mm-hmm.
Faith is nothing but perseverance. You persevere when you come through that door, and as Dr. Royston said, you create those circumstances. There's a reason why God may have closed that door.
Yeah.
But he also said, I'm going to open doors that no man can shut.
Awesome,
But all
awesome.
I need you to do is believe on me. If you cannot believe on me, he said, I'm going to bless you by the measure of your faith.
Mm-hmm.
No faith, nothing. What do you have? You're not going to move forward because you don't believe in God. When we change, watch this, catch this nugget. When we change our posture, we change our position. We change our entire life.
Okay, say that one more time, because we're about ready to wrap up, but say that
When
one
we
more time.
change our posture, the way we think, we change our entire position in life.
Wow.
Because our actions, our thoughts dictate our actions. Our thoughts dictate our actions. And we've been conditioned a lot of times. They say we're the sum total of our choices we make. But
Right.
some people, hurting people, they don't even make choices. They just do.
Right.
Because they're conditioned to believe a certain thing. Check your thinking.
Living your best life is about your sum total of your faith, your thinking, and then your actions. Dr. Andrea Carter, I'm just speaking it out there. I'm going to call you Dr. Andrea Carter. We're so thankful and grateful that you're here with us today. And if people want to reach out to you and get in touch with you, because we didn't even get to talk about her second book, I'm just going to give you the title of it. It's R, Woman Thou Art. Now, you know you need to get that book. Amazon.com, Woman Thou Art.
The Book of R.
The
Yes.
Book of R. So tell people how they can reach out to you if they need a consultant, they need a coach, if they need to have you come and speak and be a part of their program. How can they contact you? How can they follow you?
You can definitely reach me on Instagram, Andrea Carter, EDD. You can reach me on my author page on Facebook, author Andrea Carter. You can reach me on my personal Facebook, Andrea Carter, PhD student. You can reach me via email, info at andrea-carter.com.
And I know there's a lot of spellings of Andrea, so spell that.
Andrea
Carter.
Carter.
Okay. I want to make sure that people have the correct information that they need to connect with you. A woman of a wealth of information, a wealth of experience, and of course there's nothing like your testimony to bring power behind your education and academic achievement. Congratulations on all that you're doing. Congratulations on all that you're even about to do. For he said you would do exceedingly abundantly above all that you can ask or think. I'm Dr. Julia Royston, bringing you Live Your Best Life. For I've come that you might have life to the full, overflowing. Today, tomorrow, and always, live your best life.
Each and every day.